Good morning, and welcome to our final session in the Postgrad Live Discover, Decide, Do, the webinar series from DMU London. It's been a great week of sharing what's unique about our program and campus, and today we're closing one of the most forward-looking topics of all, AI literacy and responsible leadership. I'm Meredith. I'm the International Recruitment Manager for DMU London, and I will start by walking you through what DMU London offers for postgraduate students. Then I'll hand over to our Dr. Swati Ramani, the expert for today's main presentation. But before that, let's quickly revisit where the session fits in the big picture. So this is the fifth and the final session of our series, and throughout the week, we explored program deep dives, sustainability and corporate literacy, career readiness through EDGE, and today, how AI and leadership interested. If you missed any of the early sessions, recordings are available on YouTube and will be following up soon. Now, let's dive into what DMU London is all about. So DMU London is our new postgraduate campus opening September 2025, located at the AMP Whitechapel Zone 1. It's designed for career-focused study surrounded by opportunities with excellent transport link to major business area like Canary Wharf, Liverpool Street, and beyond. And here is the map of London Tube. And as you can see, our London campus is located between Aldgate East and Whitechapel. So the closest station will be Aldgate East, and you can get to central London. We're talking King's Cross here within half an hour, and you can get to Heathrow Airport within 1 hour by Elizabeth Line and vice versa. Let's now look at what makes our DMU London campus different. So at DMU London, our model is built around your future. So you'll be studying by a block teaching module, which means you study one module at a time, and a compressed on-campus activity, saving you from commuting to the campus every day. And each program includes industry experience, mentoring, and real-world projects. Responsible leadership and sustainability are embedded in everything we teach. And our team provides specialist support with career, visas, and settling into London. It's a learning experience that is focused, flexible, and designed for impact in mind. Also, being based in Whitechapel means you are surrounded by opportunities. You will be have really easy access to companies like TikTok and Amazon, and also with access to industry-informed teaching, such as collaborative projects and networking through the Institute of Directors, and also a community of professional mentors and future employers. Next, let's explore how that connects to how we teach. So our teaching model puts employability and sustainability at its core. You'll be taking part in live client projects and business stimulation, one-to-one career coaching, and you can have access to digital platforms like Body Swap and Target Connect, and also training in corporate literacy and responsible decision making, especially relevant when you're discussing emerging technologies like AI. All right, speaking of program, let's now look at the options available in London. So for September 2025 intake, we currently offer 3 postgraduate courses: Global MBA with Responsible Leadership, International Business and Sustainability Management, and also Responsible Data Analytics. So each one is taught using our block teaching model, helps students to focus fully on one topic at a time with industrial integration and also ethical leadership throughout. And we also offer financial support through generous scholarship and discount. As you can see on the table, so the table is showing the base scholarship and also a full payment discount. So for the MBA Global with Responsible Leadership, we offer £3,500 scholarship. And for the MSCs, the IBSM and the RDA, we offer £3,000 of scholarship. And if you pay in full, you will get an extra £500 discount. which leads to your final fee to this amount. And there are also additional opportunities. So we have a Sustainability Ambassador scheme offering 50% tuition fee scholarship to 6 students, and also 20% alumni discount for those who previously studied at DMU. If you're interested for more information, you can go to our DMU London website at dmu.ac.uk/London to find out more. And if you're thinking of applying, here's how it works. So first, you can apply online via either our DMU application portal or via agent. Then you will receive your offer, whether it's conditional or unconditional. If it's conditional, you will need to submit relevant document to meet your condition. And after that, you will be, if required, you will need to complete a credibility assessment. When you successfully completed it, you will need to pay 50% of tuition fee to receive your CAS. Once you have a CAS, then you can go ahead and apply for your student visa. And then you can register online and prepare to start your postgraduate journey. If you need help during the process or have any queries regarding how to apply, etc., please reach out to inquiry@dmu.ac.uk or just go to our homepage, our DMU London homepage, click register your interest and log in your query. We'll be happy to support you. All right, now I'm excited that we're going to the main part about the AI. So first, let's watch a video.
Our London campus is set in a vibrant East London neighbourhood renowned for its culture, history, cuisines and nightlife, as well as being a long-established hub for educational institutions and student accommodation. Studying with DMU London, you'll be backed all the way by a dedicated careers development team that will prepare you for the job market wherever you choose that to be. We will deliver these courses with our distinctive block teaching approach, letting you study one subject at a time in a way which best suits you. DMU London is something new for the city, a campus designed to train a new kind of leader. Sustainability-focused courses which will give you the skills to go out and change industries for the better. Welcome to DMU London.
Now I'm excited to hand over to our academic speaker, Dr. Swati Ramani, who will take you through today's focus, AI literacy and the future of responsible leadership. Hi Swati, the stage is all yours.
Hi Meredith, hi everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about the most topical issues in times like today. So I'm Dr. Swati Ramani. I'm the Deputy Head Academic for the De Montfort University's London campus. And today I'll be speaking about something that sits at the intersection of technology, ethics, and future leadership, which is AI literacy and responsible leadership. This isn't just a technical issue, it is a societal one. AI is already influencing decisions in recruitment, credit scoring, medical diagnostics, journalism. The question is whether our leaders are equipped to engage with AI critically, ethically, and accountably. So, what is AI literacy? What exactly that term means for us? It is the ability to understand, to interpret, and responsibly interact with AI systems. But it goes far beyond coding, so you do not necessarily have to be in the engineering background. It includes understanding where the data comes from, being able to ask the question, is this model fair? And knowing what questions to ask when an algorithm makes a decision or gives you an output. It is now a fundamental skill for all decision makers, not just tech experts, as I said. Without AI literacy, we risk automating bias, damaging trust, and making poor, opaque decisions. So AI literacy is as critical today as digital literacy was decades ago. So let us understand a bit more into if what happens if AI literacy is lacking. So first of all, as anyone would imagine, there would definitely be an issue around bias and ethical concern. So AI is trained on historical data. And if that is the case, it can reinforce gender, racial, or socioeconomic discriminations. For instance, if I pick an example back from 2018, Amazon had to abandon its AI recruitment tool because it downgraded CVs that mentioned the word women. Privacy is another issue that could occur if AI literacy is lacking amongst the team. So, without governance, AI can misuse personal data, violate both ethics and the laws. Over automation is another problem. So, excessive reliance on AI risks de-skilling workers. It also leads to job insecurity and inequality among our workforces. So, the message is basically clear that AI without ethics is not neutral. It involves bias, it involves privacy issues, and it magnifies whatever flaws we fail to address. But technology doesn't fail on its own. It's not AI's fault often. Algorithms don't wake up and decide to discriminate on their own. Facial recognition technologies or systems don't choose to misidentify. Automated tools don't intentionally leave people behind. Such instances depend on what data is collected, who is excluded from that data, how risks are assessed, and whether ethical concerns are acted upon or ignored. Now, these decisions aren't made by machines, they are made by people who guide the organization's direction. Those who shape strategy, those who shape the governance frameworks, those who decide how and when AI is adopted. And that is why we need responsible leadership. So, what is responsible leadership within the context of this AI landscape? I identify responsible leadership to be sitting on four key pillars. So, a responsible leader is one who knows when to embed ethics. And ethics isn't something you sprinkle on at the end. It must be built from the start of the AI development and deployment. Transparency is another very key issue that a leader must recognize. They must demand systems that are understandable, that are explainable, that are auditable, and not just within the technical teams, but across the organization. Stakeholder focus is another third key pillar when it comes to responsible AI leadership, which is we must ask the question, who is impacted by this AI decision? And are all the voices heard? And finally, societal alignment. We often think that ethics has to do only with human beings. But the answer is it also engulfs environment, it also engulfs social impact. So our AI strategies should also serve social and environmental goals. For instance, Goldman Sachs has already estimated that the data center power demand for AI will grow by 160% by 2030. And only 12% of organizations are recognizing this. So, what are we doing about the carbon footprint that comes from AI use? Another latest example is from Jim Farley, who's the CEO of American car manufacturer Ford. And they suggest that AI is going to replace literally half of all the white collar jobs. So, what are we doing about the societal impact of the whole use of AI? And of course, the number of systems that are now being deployed across organizations. Are we taking those societal impacts into account? So, together, all these four pillars bridge the gap between innovation and accountability. And that's what responsible leaders should identify. A gap that, if ignored, will have real world consequences. A bit more around how the responsible leadership can work, or how do you ensure that you take into account those four pillars? It is built around three very key steps, which could be context, strategy, and implication. So, context means that AI should fit the organization's purpose, people, and environment. Tech adoption must respect sector norms, societal expectations, and data maturity. Then comes, of course, the strategy, without which a responsible leader cannot function. So, responsible leaders must ask the question, what problem are we solving with AI? Does the solution align with our value system? Are we using AI to enhance human capability or to replace it? Is it purpose driven? And finally, the implications should be known too. So the same tool can produce trust, and the same tool can produce a backlash, depending upon how the use case is deployed. So ethical AI doesn't happen by accident. It is a result of all these three steps: a thoughtful decision, inclusive governance, and clear accountability. Now, I said the word governance just previously, which means what is basically governance? To me, I identify that a responsible leader has a steering wheel with which they function, and that steering wheel is the governance. It is not just a reactive situation, it's a proactive pillar that puts everything together. It is what makes innovation trustworthy. So to ensure AI works for people, not just for profit, we need clear rules, inclusive voices, and long-term thinking built in from the start, not just sprinkled at the end. So the demand is for transparency, for explainability, for inclusion, for sustainability. So how these choices around AI, around technology, around the supercomputers that we all talk about now will have an impact on our planet. If AI is shaped by narrow perspectives, it will reproduce narrow outcomes. So whilst preparing for the future workforce, we take these objectives into account. It is our responsibility as educators that when we are preparing our students to become future leaders, we teach them how to think broadly around these specific goals. And that's what we do at DMU London. So AI is redefining leadership, and ethical leadership starts with exceptional teaching and curriculum. And that's what we offer at DMU London. We understand that intelligent machines are reshaping the careers of the future. Our modules span business intelligence, digital strategy, sustainable leadership. Students engage with simulations and lab situations where they work with AI systems, where they work with AI tools, and see where the bias comes in from, where transparency is required, where privacy issues are a competing goal with transparency. So we provide them with scenario-based situations. We make them understand the consequence of misinformation, the consequence of governance failures. And this also comes very much closely with our industry collaboration. So employability is very much part of DMU London's infrastructure. That means we work closely with industry partners who come in for mentoring scenarios, who come in for guest lectures, who provide us with situations where our students can apply their understanding around AI tools to real life situations. Even a very interesting example could be around prompt engineering. We already know that one single prompt uses 5 times more electricity than a Google search. So could your prompting be exceptional from the very start, such that it reduces the number of prompts you have to generate? And all of this is underpinned by our commitment to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which ensure that our graduates lead with both impact and integrity. They understand the carbon footprint of this future use with AI, which is going to be explosive. So they become job ready with areas such as AI strategist. Now, this is one of the very common job options and opportunities. If you open any of these next generation job platforms, you will see requirement for an AI strategist by every other organization. Responsible AI lead is another sort of futuristic job. Then again, you can combine AI awareness with sustainability. That's another futuristic role, which is more common in public sector, in government sector. So nearly 1 in 4 new tech jobs now explicitly seek AI skills, and we are conscious of this statistic. So we ensure that our programs embed that AI literacy, and not just understanding the tools, but responsibly using them. Importantly, many openings are not only purely AI centric, but what they're asking, what companies are asking, is that the developers, the analysts, the managers, they can integrate AI into existing functions. So how do we prepare our students with a curriculum that is rich enough to prepare them for futures, to apply AI in the most responsible way. And that's what the strategy DMU London follows. So I'll leave you with a message now, which is that the future is algorithmically shaped. We prepare graduates to lead responsibly in that algorithmic future. So thank you very much. I will take some questions now.
Thank you, Swati. That was a really interesting insight. So now we have a few minutes for questions. If you have any question, feel free to ask anything about either the program or AI. Just drop your question into the comment box and we'll answer them live. And while we wait, Swati, since this is a wrap up and the students have leave their comments before the session, so would you mind to answer them?
Please go ahead. And
Yes.
I'm really pleased to see that students are so interested in knowing more about us. So go ahead, Meredith.
So the first one will be the course structure, about the course length and the contacting hour for each module, etc. Could you dive into more details around that?
Sure.
If possible, let's just take IBSM as an example.
Perfect. So MSc International Business and Sustainability Management, which is IBNSM, is one of our flagship programs out of the three. And at DMU London, we follow a block structure. So our modules are delivered in a block format, which means you study one module at a time, and that allows you to have work-life balance, that allows you to look for career opportunities alongside your curriculum delivery. Each block has an expected set of contact hours across 7 weeks. 6 weeks are mostly for teaching, and the 7th week is when you have an assessment, then you have a week break, and then you start your second module. So it's a fantastic way of having a concentrated focus on one specific module at a time. Now, across those weeks of teaching, each student will have one lecture per week, and that lecture is of 2 hours. And each student per week has 2 seminars, and each seminar is 3 hours long. So in total, in-person contact hours add up to 8 hours. So 6 weeks of seminars and 2 hours for lectures. Apart from that, we also have 2 hours of asynchronous learning. Now, what is asynchronous learning? Asynchronous learning is a way in which a student engages with the content material online in their own time, in a more hybrid setup. So they don't have to come on campus, don't have to engage into in-person classroom situation. They will be provided material beforehand, which is around 2 hours long. They could involve short videos, they could involve a pre-reading or an exercise, and they just have to do that in their own time. So together, a total of 10 hours. Apart from that, of course, every student will have help in terms of staff being available through their drop-in hours, which means students can, if they're facing any issues, not just around the content or a specific module, but they want to speak about employability, they want to speak about an international context, or any issues that they're facing around their campus life, they're most welcome to fix time with their tutors during those office hours. We also have designated support in terms of an international student tutor. Again, we are conscious about the fact that DMU London attracts massive number of international students. So we'll make sure that every student has help in terms of understanding the international context, the culture of how the UK functions, the job market, the academic setup. So no student is on their own when they join DMU London. We are always there as a help at their doorstep. So I hope that answers the question, Meredith.
Yes, that answered it perfectly. Thank you, Swati. And also about the timetable, since you mentioned there will be on-campus activities and off-campus activities. So will the student get their timetable at their first day? Because there were some of the students might want to balance their study and other commitment. They would like to know the timetable beforehand so they can plan for it.
Yes, so our goal is to issue the timetable when the students join. Of course, they should have it as and when during the welcome and induction week. So when they land up, not physically, but what I mean is as soon as they're part of the DMU London family, and once their, the induction week commences, that is one of the things that they will have access to. So as I said, everything is pre-planned for them, and they will have plenty of time to finalize their own other engagement activities around the timetable. Having said that, Meredith, I also want to ensure that we are conscious of the fact at DMU London that how important employability and career is for an international student. And that is one of the ethos, and that is one of the USPs of London. So you don't yourself have to worry about that I have to go and speak with the careers team. We've already put the timetable in such a way that you will have online engagements, you will have sessions where the careers team is coming out to you, actually, where employers will be coming to you for guest lectures. So you don't have to juggle around your timetable to find where can I, is there a clash between an online session with an employer, but I have a classroom situation or a session or a seminar there. We've already taken that into account, so you won't have those kind of clashes with DMU London.
Thank you so much, Swati. That's a really thoughtful arrangement. So we plan it all out for you. Yeah. Thanks. And also about the assessment types. So what are the assessment types? I got student asking me about global MBA. So does global MBA includes exams?
Okay, so I should announce this. This is the good news. So DMU London doesn't have any exams in the old setup where you would be, in a classroom, big classroom with timed exam, a lot of pressure on students. So we've completely negated all of that. We are very forward-looking institution. We want to take into account that just writing an exam in a closed book format just limits your understanding to a specific question and just producing the answer for that. So we want to move beyond that. So there are no exams, not just for global MBA, but on all three programs, there are no closed book exams. So that's a good news. So what are the type of assessment structures? So we have reflective reports, we have presentations, we have courseworks and essays. Now, again, because we've been talking about AI literacy here, so we will be conscious about how students can bring the use of AI tools within their assessments responsibly. There will be conscious discussions with program teams, with the students around responsible use of AI tools. So we will not negate the fact that you cannot use AI tools. In fact, we encourage our students to use those tools so that because they have to become future employees with organizations that are maximum capitalizing on these tools nowadays. So why not prepare our students for what they would actually do in a job situation? So we will allow the students to use those AI tools, of course, the ones that make sure that there is data protection. So in a way, what I'm saying here is that responsible use of AI tools will be taught to our students so that when they use it for assessment, for brainstorming, for researching around a topic, or maybe even something like translating into a simpler language, or a language that they can resonate with more, or maybe for even neurodiverse students, when they don't have to go through a very lengthy article, could there be a tool that allows it to turn into a voiceover? So any sort of that help will be encouraged. Of course, when students use those tools, they have to disclose the use of tools, which will also be the case with staff. So we openly discuss about these AI tools. We openly discuss about AI literacy at DMU London. We want our students to have the confidence. So I kind of have answered a lot in this question. So let me just recap. No exams for any of those three programs, no closed book exams. So good news there. We have a plethora of assessment structures, and we do encourage AI literacy across the curriculum. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Swati. That is really good news for students.
I'm sure.
Yes. So I don't think there's any further questions, but if you have after the session, you can always find us on below contact. So that brings us to the end of Postgrad Live Discover, Decide, Do webinar series. If you missed any session this week, don't worry. All the recording will be available on YouTube. We hope these sessions have given you a useful insight to help you choose the right course and the right city for your next chapter. Thank you again for joining us today and throughout the series. And if you'd like to speak with someone about applying scholarship or next step, you can reach us at below information. We'd love to welcome you to DMU London this September. Thanks all. Thank you, Swati, for joining us today.
Thanks, Meredith. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.